It's time for Celebrity Profile on Asteroid G. You're listening to Not So Live from Asteroid G. I'm Mike Finkelstein. With me, as always, is...
Josh Schaefer.
Queen Bee.
And Bex.
And we are going to be doing another Hollywood showcase. Today, for a topic Josh has wanted to cover for, probably a month, and we kept putting him off while we were doing these recordings. We are going to be discussing Peter Dinklage.
Yay!
One half of his Tom Cruise, Peter Dinklage casting for every single movie he's ever wanted to cast.
Wait a second.
Yes.
He also puts Idris Elba in there.
Sometimes.
Usually.
But his default will be no more than anything else, Peter Dinklage and Tom Cruise.
Yes.
Okay.
So, people will know Peter Dinklage from primarily, at this point, Game of Thrones. I don't think there's any other way of looking at it. Game of Thrones was totally, the thing that cast him into the limelight for everyone who didn't already know him from like minor independent movies before that.
That's fair.
He was in Game of Thrones?
Yes, he was Cersei Lannister. No, he was Tyrion. He was the imp.
Makes so much sense.
I gotta tell you, I think he would have killed the shit out of the Cersei role. Okay.
Oh, I think he definitely would
He could
have.
do it all. I want to see him as Khal Drogo when they read.
You know what? I think Peter Dinklage and William Goggins should do some kind of
yes.
Yeah, that would be amazing.
So if we look at his time on the show, or in Hollywood, he's done a lot of little things like Walk On and Entourage, which a couple episodes on Nip Tuck, an episode on 30 Rock that's apparently painful to go back and watch now. Interestingly,
It's a little awkward.
A little awkward. He has some stuff on his resume that I'm interested about. Like, apparently he was in Avengers Infinity War. Oh, that's right, he was. He was the giant dwarf who I don't think of because he was giant.
Right, he was a dwarf giant.
But he was giant. Like, my mind cannot wrap myself around the fact that, like, Peter Dinklage was in Infinity War.
He
was an elf? I didn't hear you say that one.
No, yeah, I was going to get back to Elf. Elf, where he played a guy who was very mad at being called an elf. Which,
yes.
Fair. Yeah. Like, that was the first time I saw him before, in a thing, was in that movie. Although, then I saw him in Death at a Funeral. He did a lot in a very short span of time.
He was in an episode of As the World Turns, too.
Was he?
He was, back in 2002.
That's not... I don't even have that on his thing here on Wikipedia, so clearly they are not up to date on that. Did he play someone's twin brother? That wasn't his twin at all?
He played Moreland. I have no idea what that means. But the first time I ever saw him in a movie, I believe that movie was called... I want to say it was like Living in Oblivion, I think.
Living in Oblivion from 1995, yes.
Yeah, I think that was the first time I saw him in anything. And then the next time I literally saw him, like, he may have been an elf, but I'm not a huge Will Ferrell fan, so I just kind of must have blanked out. But the next time I actually saw him was Game of Thrones, and that was like, oh, him! I like him! And... yeah, he was just amazing, and he got the credit that was due him for everything that he's done. Yes. He's simply amazing. Did you know that he's been in all the Ice Age movies? I had no idea.
What?
Really?
That's awesome.
I know that.
Captain Gut was his character.
I will admit I haven't watched those movies because.
He was a narrator for one of them. Well, okay, he was in all of the, I guess, after the third one, he was in all of the video games, and
there you go.
And he was the narrator for the movie documentary.
He is a fantastic actor, and it's interesting to me that he's built the career that he has, because he's, like, okay, let's be honest, he's short, he's a dwarf, if we're going to use an improper term. A little person, I think, is the proper term to use at this point.
Preferred-
Although
Actually, I
preferred
think
term?
it depends on who it is.
I think it really
Yeah.
does. It's not fair to any of the rest of us because we don't know what term to use. So let's go back to he's short, very short, and he's not what you would consider traditional Hollywood. So
No.
no.
Yeah, well, let's be fair. His face is traditional Hollywood. His height is not.
No, it's not.
But his face is very traditionally Hollywood. He's a very handsome man. I mean,
Yeah.
if I was attracted to short men, which I unfortunately am not, Peter Dinklage would be one of those men that I would be attracted to.
And I mean, that voice. Come on.
Yes, amazing.
He has a very good voice. But yeah,
Yeah.
Elf. I saw him in the before Elf. I saw him in the Station Agent, which is a depressing movie, but actually very well acted. And it's just about
Really good though.
yeah, it was good. A guy that inherits a train station and just kind of lives there. It's like a lot of independent movies. It's more about the ambiance than anything else. And that's like a lot of the movies that he did up to a point. And then sometime after Elf, he started getting like franchises that wanted to cast him in them. Like Lassie, for example. And oh my god, there's a movie called Little Fugitive. It's not about him. That he's not the little fugitive. He's just a guy. I was about to say, dude, why did you take that role? No, but like the remake of Death at a Funeral, Chronicles of Narnia, where he played Mr. Trumpkin, which guy. Hollywood does you wrong. He was in both Deaths at a Funeral, just different roles.
Have you seen I Care a Lot? Because he's amazing in that too.
Josh, you were
Yeah,
gonna say?
it's the same role in Death at the Funeral.
Is it just a
In
different
Death
name?
at the Funeral, he was. Yeah, because
Okay.
he was in the movie before?
He was Peter in the
English.
the British one, and then he was Frank in the American one that was recast with a mostly black cast.
Yes.
So I didn't watch that one primarily because I'm not a big Chris Rock fan.
Yeah, the American one didn't do justice. It was funny, same story, but the British one I thought was better.
Mm-hmm. But then, as you said, he's in the Ice Age movies, and he gained a certain amount of clout, I think, in Hollywood around because of Game of Thrones, and then because of that, he started getting roles like Ball Over Trask and X-Men: Days of Future Past, where they completely recast the role basically because he was a completely different looking person in the previous time that Trask showed up in one of the earlier X-Men movies, Avengers: Infinity War, where they just basically made him be big but himself. And I see coming up, he's gonna be in B. You mentioned I Care a Lot, which I haven't seen, but he's also gonna be in the next Toxic Avenger. The guy is all over the place now.
Yeah, let's some other things that people might know about him. He is a vegetarian. He does not eat meat because he would. This is his quote from him: "I like animals, all animals. I wouldn't hurt a cat or a dog or a chicken or a cow, and I wouldn't ask anyone to hurt them for me. That's why I'm a vegetarian." So he has that kind of belief system, which is actually kind of sweet. I mean, I don't necessarily agree with it, but that's me.
Animals are tasty.
Yeah. He is also a theater actor. He's not just in movies or TV. He is a theater actor, so he has done on-stage plays as well. He does have it.
That's how he got his start, was in theater, working in New York as a theater person. I saw a speech he made at a graduation for some college in Vermont or upstate New York or something, and he talked about his whole time doing that. And obviously it was a speech that he wrote on his own, and it's hilarious. The man is a great public speaker.
Yes.
But he talked about his time working in theater and just how hard it is to make a living working in theater. And that he eventually gave up on it and started working as a salesperson at an office instead because it was just easier than working in theater.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you make more. You don't make a lot when you're an actor in theater, but you do start to make money when you're in TV and movies. So that's what they call, earning it, I guess. I'm not famous, so I don't know. But you know, he is married. He has a daughter. I mean, he has a really good life. And let's see, who's his spouse? His spouse is Erica Schmidt. I think she's an actress as well, isn't she?
Yeah, Erica Schmidt. She's a theater director.
Yeah. So there you go. Oh, 2 children, not just one. They have 2 children. So, and he's only 4 years older than me. So,
Nice.
sorry, younger than me. I was 71. He's 75. Anyway, he is a graduate of Vassar College. That's odd. Since Vassar used to be didn't Vassar used to be a female college?
I mean, maybe, but most of those have gone the way of, open colleges in the last 20 years anyway, so it doesn't surprise me that, yeah.
Oh, I only thought he only had one daughter, because the second child, whose gender and name is unknown.
Well, yeah, from what I'm reading about him, he's very private about his life. Like,
yeah,
the most he will say is that he's very, he's against, like, Trump, but, and that whole group of things, but, like, most of the time, as you mentioned, he's just, his politics aims towards vegetarianism and helping stuff with PETA, and that's about it. Yeah. So, it's nice to be able to talk about someone that we don't have anything bad to say about, as opposed to Chris Pratt in the last one of these we did. So, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so, as a person, he's a decent human being. So that's pretty, uplifting as well. So Josh, why don't you tell us your feelings on Peter Dinklage and your bromance with him?
I mean, it's an unrequited bromance.
Oh.
You don't know. Maybe he's sitting there at his house going, that Josh Schaefer
exactly.
guy.
Yeah.
I mean,
I would cast him in everything I do if only he knew me.
You reach out at any time through the site, and I'll gladly talk to him about whatever he wants to talk about.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. It's just like there's something that just seems wholesome about him.
Even when he plays an angry character.
And but when he plays like a quote unquote bad guy,
he finds the pathos.
Yeah, no, exactly. I don't know. I'm sure he had to work a lot harder because, as B was saying, Hollywood is shitty.
Oh God, in general, yeah. You're a woman over 25. We're going to stop casting you. You're a person who's under 5 feet tall. We're going to stop casting you. They will stop putting you in stuff for just any reason.
Yeah, and he has some of his own diversity issues, yes, but he kind of persevered through that and has enough self-respect and confidence for own talent to be like, yeah, I'm not gonna play Oompa Loompa. I don't know. It's just really cool how he's kind of become a household name.
Like, Game of Thrones may have sucked, but no one ever complained about his performance.
That's true. Nobody complained about his performance.
Yeah.
The scripts were awful.
Other actors certainly sucked.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the scripts in the last couple seasons were awful. He did the best he could.
But that's not him. I didn't issue with him.
Yeah, he was amazing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
He was amazing.
Anything else to say on the topic of Peter Dinklage?
Contact Asteroid G, please. Thank you.
If Peter Dinklage is one of our 5 listeners, I would be really impressed.
I know, right? Everyone, get the word out for Dinklage. We need his own show.
Yeah, all we gotta do is do the Twitters and the tagging and the whatever.
at Peter Dinklage, please. Anyway. All right, this has been Hollywood Showcase from Not So Live from Asteroid G. I'm Mike Finkelstein.
Schaefer.
Queen Bee.
And Bex.
And we will see you next time.